anxiety or the hum of the day's distractions. It is the whisper of your true self. This voice, calm and constant, has waited patiently beneath all your noise to be heard. Now, under the cloak of darkness and with breath as your anchor, you begin again. This is the time to listen. Comment below, "I accept what is," if you join me in this intention. You are not here to be entertained or distracted. You are here to remember what matters, what is real, what you can control. Tonight we walk beside Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, not as followers, but as fellow travelers. Their words are not commands, but echoes of the same wisdom you hold inside. They speak so you can remember what you already know. You were never promised ease. Life is not meant to be soft. It is meant to sharpen you, to break what is false and leave what is real. Each struggle, each disappointment, each quiet heartbreak has carved into you a deeper space that now must be filled with clarity, not comfort, not hope, clarity. Because only with clarity do you become unshakable. Do not wait for peace to find you. You must create it in the furnace of each decision. Peace is not the absence of chaos, it is the refusal to be moved by it. When the winds rise, the Stoic stands rooted, not because he is numb, but because he has trained his soul to hold its shape. He knows what is his to carry and what must be dropped. It starts here, with this breath, with this moment. You do not need more time, more answers, more perfection. You need to return to yourself, to that still core where nothing outside can touch you. The storms can rage, the people can speak, the future can remain uncertain. And still you can stand. You can sleep. You can let go. Everything you fear losing, control, status, praise, even love, none of it truly belongs to you. It was never yours. Not really. What you do have, what no one can take, is your ability to respond, to choose how you see, how you act. That is the one true possession. Guard it fiercely. The Stoics taught that there is only one real division in life: the things you can control and the things you cannot. Nothing else matters. If it is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your values, then take full responsibility for it. Own it completely. If it is outside your control, other people's opinions, the past, your health, the outcomes, then release it. Let it fall away like autumn leaves from a tree. This isn't weakness, this is strength. The strength to stop fighting what is. To stop pretending you are a god in a world of shifting fate. You are a part of nature, not above it. You are not owed understanding or fairness or ease. What you are owed is your own effort, your own integrity, your own practice of reason. There will be pain, there will be fear, but neither defines you. What defines you is what you do with them. You can resist, complain, collapse, or you can face, accept, transform. The Stoic does not wish for hardship, but when it comes, he meets it like an old friend, not because he enjoys it, but because he knows it is the only path to growth. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. How many nights have you lost to worry? How many moments have you poisoned by anticipating pain that never arrived? Let tonight be different. Let tonight be a return to what is, not what if, not what was. What is. There is no peace in the past. There is no control in the future. There is only this: your breath, your body, your awareness. That is enough. That is always enough. And when it feels like it isn't, that's a sign you've stepped outside your control. Return. Again and again return. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your failures. You are the space in which all of those rise and fall. You are the one who sees. And if you can see clearly, you can choose clearly. And if you can choose clearly, you can live without regret. The Stoics do not demand perfection. They demand honesty. Are you living by your values? Are you being ruled by externals? Are you still blaming the world for your unrest? These questions are not to shame you. They are to wake you, to call you home, because home is not a place, it is a principle. Tonight, you return home, not by escaping the world, but by releasing your grip on it, by accepting it as it is, not as you wish it to be. That is the essence of Stoicism, not indifference, not coldness, but radical alignment with what is real, what is unshakable. Your breath is real, your choice is real, your response is real, everything else is fleeting, beautiful perhaps, important even, but still fleeting. Do not anchor your soul to things that drift. Anchor it to what you know to be true, no matter the storm. So sleep now, not to escape, but to rest in truth. Let the teachings settle into your bones, not as ideas, but as anchors. You are not helpless. You are not broken. You are a mind capable of choosing how to live. That is a miracle. Treat it like one. And when you wake, do not forget this. Do not rush back into the noise. Begin your day with the same clarity with which you end your night. Ask yourself, what is in my control? What does virtue require of me today? What would Marcus do? What would I do if I were brave? Your life is not measured in achievements or applause. It is measured in moments of clarity, in breaths taken with intention, in the refusal to be anything but aligned. That is the mark of the Stoic. That is the mark of the free. Now close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the words fade and the silence return. Trust that what needed to be heard has been planted. You do not need to hold it. You need only to rest in it. Let go, let go, let go, and sleep, not because the day defeated you, but because you stood firm in it. Sleep, not as escape, but as restoration. Sleep because tomorrow you will begin again, not from scratch, but from strength. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you must be to practice. This is the way. Walk it with dignity. Walk it with discipline. Walk it with love for the truth. And whatever comes, remember, you are free. You are still here, listening, breathing. That in itself is enough. In a world obsessed with progress, output, and spectacle, it is easy to forget that being is already a miracle. To simply sit, to draw breath, to stay with yourself instead of running from yourself. These are acts of courage in a culture of constant distraction. You may feel as though you are doing nothing, as though the stillness is wasted time, but in truth you are tending the soil from which everything else grows. The act of staying, of being present, of not abandoning yourself in the midst of noise. This is where transformation begins. You don't need to do more. This statement strikes against the grain of almost everything you have been taught. From childhood, you were conditioned to believe that worth is earned through effort, that value is proven by productivity, that growth requires constant doing. Yet the deepest changes in life rarely arise from force. They come from attention, from patience, from presence. A seed does not force itself open. It softens, it yields, and in yielding, it grows. Your life is no different. You are not a project to be completed, but a being to be tended. In many ways, doing less, or rather doing with awareness rather than compulsion, is the beginning of true growth. The very act of returning again and again is the core of the practice. You wander, you forget, you drift into distraction or impatience or old habits. That is normal. That is human. The power lies not in never leaving, but in always coming back, returning to your breath, returning to your values, returning to the simple truths that anchor you. Each return is a choice, a reaffirmation of who you want to be, a strengthening of the muscle of awareness. Over time, these quiet returns accumulate into resilience. You do not notice the change at first, but one day you look back and realize, I no longer get lost as easily. I return more quickly. My center holds more firmly. This is the slow miracle of practice. Life will try to convince you that transformation is grand, that wisdom is loud. It will parade dramatic stories of overnight success, of sudden awakenings, of life-changing breakthroughs. It will tell you that if your change is not visible, not dramatic, not immediate, it must not be real. But life's deepest truths move more like water carving stone, silently, steadily, shaping everything without spectacle. Real transformation often happens in small, unremarkable moments. The choice to pause before speaking, the breath taken in the midst of stress, the decision to return to your principles when no one is watching. These moments are so quiet they seem insignificant, yet they are the very fabric of wisdom. Wisdom itself is not loud. It does not shout for attention or demand recognition. It grows in silence, in solitude, in practice. It grows in the spaces where you choose patience over haste, reflection over reaction, presence over escape. Because it is quiet, you may doubt it, you may imagine that nothing is happening. But like a tree rooting itself deeper with each season, your soul is establishing its foundations beneath the surface. Others may not see it, you may not see it, but the roots are spreading. And when storms come, you will discover that you stand differently, not because you performed some grand act of transformation, but because you stayed, you practiced, you returned. This is what it means to hold a simple truth long enough to let it change you. Most people graze upon truths like tourists, encountering them briefly, admiring them, then moving on to the next insight, the next inspiration. But truth is not fast food. It is nourishment that requires time to digest.
Yeah. I've distanced myself from him, but at the same time become closer. Yeah.
To let a simple truth change you is to stay with it, to revisit it daily, to measure your choices against it, to let it sink beneath the surface of your thoughts into the habits of your life. This is not dramatic work, but it is profound. Over time, the truth stops being an idea you visit and becomes a place you live. A steady breath. This is both a symbol and a practice. Breath is always with you, always available, always present. It does not demand you achieve anything. It asks only that you notice it. To anchor in your breath is to anchor in the present moment, the only place where life actually happens. Each inhale is a receiving, each exhale a releasing. In that rhythm lies a quiet wisdom. You are sustained, not by clinging, but by flow. The breath teaches you to receive without grasping and to let go without fear. Each time you return to it, you practice not only calm, but freedom. Freedom from the compulsive need to be elsewhere, to be other than you are. A quiet remembering. This is the heart of all practice. Remembering who you are beneath the noise. Remembering the values you have chosen, the truths you have discovered, the person you are becoming. Forgetting is normal. The world is designed to make you forget, to pull your attention outward, to convince you that your worth lies in constant motion. Remembering is an act of resistance, but a gentle one. You do not fight the noise. You turn back to yourself. You do not force clarity. You return to the simple truths, over and over, as many times as it takes. This remembering is not dramatic, but it is transformative because it reorients you to what is real. A simple truth, held long enough, will change you. It may be a truth about patience, about kindness, about courage, about impermanence. At first, it seems like just a thought. But if you return to it, live with it, measure your life by it, it begins to work upon you quietly. Like water smoothing stone, it reshapes the rough edges of your reactions, your habits, your judgments. One day, you realize you no longer force patience. You simply are patient. You no longer strive to be kind. Kindness arises naturally. The truth has moved from your head into your heart, and from your heart into your life. This is the real work, not grand gestures, not sudden awakenings, but the daily return to what matters. You are still here, listening, breathing. That is enough. You do not need to do more. You do not need to achieve enlightenment in a single burst or fix every flaw overnight. You need only to return again and again to the practice of presence, to the truths you already know, to the breath that sustains you. Over time, these quiet acts accumulate into a life transformed. And when you doubt yourself, remember, life's deepest transformations are rarely loud. They are rarely seen. They unfold in private moments of choice and return, in steady breaths and quiet remembering. This is how character is built, how wisdom takes root, how freedom grows. It is not glamorous, but it is real, and it is yours, here, now, in this very breath. The Stoics were not superhuman. They were not immune to loss, fear, or pain. They simply chose to train their minds to see clearly through it, to not let emotion dictate reason, to not let chaos decide character, and most of all, they refused to live by chance. They chose principle. Every day, especially on the hard days, you don't become strong by avoiding discomfort. You become strong by walking into it, eyes open, jaw relaxed, breath steady. The fear you feel now, the ache you carry, the tension behind your eyes, they are not signs that you're failing. They are invitations to go deeper, to see what still holds power over you, and to reclaim it. Every emotion begins with a judgment. Something happens, and your mind decides what it means. That's where the power lies. Not in controlling what happens, but in questioning what you believe about it. Is this bad? Is this unbearable? Or is this just unfamiliar, just uncomfortable, just new? You get to decide the meaning. Always. When you begin to see clearly, you begin to suffer less. Not because pain disappears, but because confusion does. What hurts more than pain is not understanding it, not knowing why it's there, not knowing what to do with it. But if you can say, this moment is part of my path. I accept it. I will use it. Then you become unshakable. The Stoic does not reject emotion. He questions it. He investigates it. He welcomes it as a messenger. Anger says, something matters to you. Fear says, there is risk here. Envy says, you've forgotten your own values. Each one can teach if you are calm enough to listen. If you are still enough to see, tonight you are still, you are listening. So let's go deeper. Visualize now a moment from your life that still stings. Not to dwell, but to practice. Hold it gently in your mind. See the people, the setting, the emotion. Now ask, what part of this was in my control? What part was not? And where am I still holding on to what was never mine? Let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much to keep carrying something that weighs you down. Carry only what sharpens you. Carry only what is yours, and let the rest fall away, slowly, gently, without drama, just like breath leaving the lungs. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And bravery, in this moment, means choosing calm when panic is easier, choosing discipline when distraction is tempting, choosing gratitude when bitterness feels justified. That's what makes you free, not circumstances, but choices. Right now, you are practicing freedom. With every breath, every decision to stay here and listen, every act of letting go, you are shaping your soul. Not for tomorrow, for now. Because how you live now is how you live always, and what you do in stillness will echo in motion. There is no finish line, no moment when you become fully stoic, perfectly wise, or entirely at peace. There is only the practice, the return, the act of showing up again and again for what is real, what matters, what leads you to a higher self even when it's inconvenient. Do not believe the lie that says you must wait to begin, that you need more healing, more confidence, more clarity. Begin now. Begin confused. Begin uncertain. Begin afraid, because the act of beginning is what creates all the things you think you need first. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This isn't about fear of death, it's about clarity of life. You don't have forever. That is not sad. That is liberating. You don't have time to live someone else's values. What if you let go of the image you're trying to keep up? What if you drop the need to be admired, validated, understood? What if your only goal was